What's up guys, it's a Checkmate here, and in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to checkmate easily in chess with both the white and black pieces. I'm going to show you some of the basic rules and setup of the board, and then I'll do a guide to the Scholars Mate for the white pieces, and a guide to the French Defence opening for the black pieces. I've placed some time codes down in the description below, so you can skip to whatever section of the video you want. Before we begin, please don't forget to like the video and subscribe, so I can keep making more great content for you. Let's begin with the rules. There are 64 black and white squares on our chessboard, and there are 32 pieces, 16 white and 16 black. The smallest pieces are called pawns, and they can only move one forward square at a time, also moving diagonally to capture an opponent's piece. A pawn's first move is allowed to be 2 squares forward, but this must be its first move of the game. Other pieces include the knights, who move in an L shape, bishops, who move diagonally, rooks, who move up and down or side to side, queens, who can move diagonally, up and down or side to side, and kings, who can move one square in any direction. If both the king and the rook have not moved yet in the game, and there are no pieces between them, you are allowed to castle, which means switching the position of the king and putting it in a safer place, like this. This is the board setup of chess. The pawns start up in the second row, and behind them, the rooks on the side, then the knights, then the bishops, and the king and queen, with the queen taking its color square. On your turn, you can move one of your pieces to either move or capture. The only way to return a captured piece to the board is if a pawn reaches the opponent's back row. Players alternate turns until one of the players resigns or one of the players checkmates the other. A checkmate is a position where the king is in danger of being captured and he has nowhere to go where he will not be captured on the next move. Anytime the king is in danger of being captured, it is called a check, and that king must be protected, either by moving himself out of the way or by moving a piece in front of him. If it is already certain that a player will lose the game, they can choose to resign and not finish off the game. Now, let's move on to some famous strategies of chess. This first one is a 4-move checkmate for white, and it's called the Scholars Mate. You start with the move pawn e4, and if your opponent responds with the common move pawn e5, you will then play queen h5. Now, a common strategy a lot of people play is put their pawn here. But what you would play for this is you take the pawn on e5, and you've now forked his rook, and the king is in check now as well. So if they defend with something like the bishop, you take the rook, and you're up. In this position also, if he then decides to play something like the knight, you will go bishop c4. And then if he plays any move, like for example the bishop move or that knight move, you will then march in here with your queen, and that is instantly checkmate. Now let's move on to the French Defence opening for the black pieces. It's a great opening, and it's been used by many grandmasters in the past, as it's very strong on any level. The French defense position is created by the pawn moves e4, e6, d4, and d5. As you can see here, your pawn's in a diagonal line, and they're blocking white's white square bishop from advancing and developing like this. From here, your opponent can choose to do 3 things: to advance their pawn, to take your pawn, or to just leave it. If you want to learn more about the French defense, there are many books, as well as videos on YouTube, to help you. There are many other strategies in chess, including the Ruy Lopez, the Sicilian, the Caro-Kann, and the Queen's Gambit, which I also recommend learning. I hope you enjoyed my chess tutorial and learned something new today. Don't forget to like and subscribe, check out my other videos, and I'll see you in the next one.